Hello and welcome to the other side, the next training video number 2. I'm LeeAnne Homsey and this is Hospitality Tips for Better Tips, the social engagement training for waiters. What is social engagement? Well, first of all, it's social, and that's really all we have to focus on. It's not selling steak. It's social. So if you're making X amount of money doing this and selling this and upselling this and it's not enough, then add another team player to your team. Social media or social. I call it social. It's kind of all-encompassing because the more you are aware of your possibilities, the more you realize that you talking is really the key to your success. And it's talking to neighbors, talking to your customers, talking to your coworkers. And the more you get your station set early, before the crunch, the more money you're going to make. End of story. When the kitchen's too busy, when the bartenders are overwhelmed, they're trying to make their own tips, you're not the highest rung on the priority ladder. So keep doing what you're doing, and isn't that called insanity? Or use the game changer, social. Social is everything, everywhere now. Everyone is expecting social. What does it mean? What does it mean to a waiter? It means so many different things that it's hard to even nail down. But let me start by saying this. Social is the one thing that no one else is doing. So you already have a foot up on all of the competition. If you are in a pool house, doesn't matter. If you are by yourself and you're watching this videotape, I'm so old. If you're watching this video and using it exclusively for yourself, all the better. You're going to succeed if you start using social. Social is everywhere. I just saw an ad last night about a social car. Like, now they're selling a car, it's the most social car. What does that even mean? Okay, so you can use this to your advantage because nobody knows what that means. Social engagement is engaging and being social. You can take it to the next level to mean that it also encompasses social media, and that the outcome should be an engagement of social media nature, but it doesn't exclusively have to mean social media engagement, okay? This is social engagement, and you are the only one learning it, so you are going to be the only one really profiting from this right now. So because social is everywhere, because everyone's kind of expecting social experiences, you can use this to your advantage because it's also new to them too. So then when your customers come in and they're expecting a menu, would you like sparkling or flat water? If you throw in the social moments, it's just so new that no one even knows what to do with it yet. So if you said something to the effect of, would you like sparkling or flat water? And has everyone tweeted or posted or tagged or whatever the hell you're going to do? Don't say hell. Whatever you're going to do so that you can focus on our delicious menu. Now, it sounds to the customer like you've just told them that the focus should be the food, or the restaurant is here for, this is the experience. But what you really just told the customers is to alert their entire network where they are. You've just walked up to your table and said, "Can you advertise my business for me?" And they said yes. Okay? So use social social media in this instance, use social media as your coworker, your busboy, your team member that's bigger than all of you, okay? That team member can draw and bring in so many more customers depending on what you do with this next couple of hours, okay? So you've got 4 people sitting and they're now texting, tweeting, checking in, Foursquare, Pinterest, whatever. You never have to worry about what social is because your customers will do it for you. Whatever the hot new thing is, it's already on their phone. So you don't have to learn anything. They'll do it for you. So that's brilliant. You can use this team member and you don't have to know anything about the team member. Social is everywhere and it's mammoth. So start using it to your advantage. It's free. Your customers are using it. Now create an experience that will benefit you in the long run. That's what social should be for you. So use social engagement to your advantage. So when they take their phones out and they're tweeting and they're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's get the tagging and Facebooking and all that out of the way. Or no, we're not that kind of customer or whatever. At least you've alerted them to the idea. And so now when their food arrives, it's already in their head that social is here. Social is on the table. Social is, you know, I want my friends to know where we are. Oh, he's not going to do it, so I'm not going to either. Now, when the food and drink arrive, guaranteed they're going to use that conduit to alert their friends to what they're doing, because they're action-packed social people. So use social to your advantage. And in the next couple of steps, you want to make sure that they're using social on your behalf. How do you do that? You make sure that you get opportunities to get your name into situations, right? So you've got social and it's free and all of your guests are using it. You want to make sure that people are sending new customers to you. So what do? You make sure that you're memorable. So you haven't even gotten to the part where you're creating a relationship yet, but you have this new team player on your team called social, so you can start using social to create those moments, create the relationships, and create regular customers. So use social to your advantage. Use social engagement for yourself as another tool, like a business card that you're going to hand out, like the newspaper that you're going to use, and the composition book that is going to come in so handy. It's going to be your Bible for the rest of your life. But use social as this other tool, this backup tool that can absolutely drive people into your station asking for you. So pool house or non-pool house, your customers will be driving customers in that you don't have to wait on because you don't have any space. So other people are going to be waiting on customers that never would have come in without you directing their social media experience, directing social, using social. So how do we do that? This is just one thing. So we've covered business cards and how to use them just by saying thank you and getting your area not purveyors, but business owners and their employees, you're saying thank you, and they're actually hearing you. You're getting them to actually pay attention and want to send people to you. Now the next step is to use social media in this same way. So one way to start harnessing the social media that's out there and right at your tables in the hands of your customers is by using the same tip, okay? It's a hospitality tip. It's not saying you're welcome or absolutely. It's saying thank you, okay? So the next time somebody says, oh, thank you, can I get more lemon? Absolutely. And then when you bring it and they say, thank you, you say, no, thank you. Now, they don't even know what to make of that because you've just said thank you. Thank you for coming in and letting me bring the lemon. If I had said, oh, you're welcome, or thank you, no problem, or my pleasure, or absolutely, all of those responses dismiss the request that the customer has made. Like it was no effort at all. I get lemons all day long, whether you're here or not. And that's just not the truth. So use that same phrase that you use at the business down the street, and then the business next to that, and the next to that, and next to that, because you passed out 5 business cards on your way to work, right? So use that same trick, thank you, now on your customers, okay? Not a trick, it's not, I mean, trick is not the right word, tip, okay? Use the thank you tip. So don't say you're welcome or my pleasure or absolutely, because it's not absolutely my pleasure to get you lemons all day, okay? My absolute pleasure is being on a beach with a drink in my hand. That is my absolute pleasure, and your customer knows it. So be authentic, okay? That's what this new world is. It's social and it's authentic. So come to your table authentically, and when they say, oh, thank you, you say, thank you. Thank you. Well, for what? For being here. Thank you. Thanks for coming in and letting me get you lemons. And walk away. Thank you means I really appreciate the opportunity to serve you. Okay? That resonates with people. Wow, this is the place where, people really appreciate my money. They appreciate me coming in. When you say my pleasure, it's like you're talking to nobody, and you're making sure that that relationship between customer and server always remains completely professional and spacious, okay? And your goal is certainly not to be unprofessional, but to close that gap so that your customer knows that they can rely on you for anything. And text you if they need to, or communicate by calling the hostess that they need their favorite app on the table before they arrive, that they would like their drinks on the tag that they have a special event or a special occasion. Can you pick up flowers on your way to work? And of course, tag that onto their bill. There's so many different ways to create more money by creating more of an experience, but the customer doesn't know it exists because you have this relationship with them right now. So you're trying to close the gap between your customer and you so that it's more of an actual customer relationship. And you've already started doing that by using social. So in this case it was social media. But if I didn't mention it before, this is my little VIP tool. You want to, almost everyone that you meet are coming in at this level into the restaurant, and what you want to do is ultimately get them to this level, and all this is in between is communication. Things that you want to communicate is what you can do, and what you've already communicated that with business owners around your restaurant, around your free business. Somebody gave you a free business with chairs and tables and silverware and food and support staff. Now get out there and tell all of the businesses around you what you offer and when you can best offer it. You've already gotten social. You've already started your communication. So that's all this is. Getting from here to there is communication. And believe it or not, all of the customers that you're serving right now want to be up here, but they just don't know how to do it. So you are taking the first step to helping your customer get to the point where they all dream of being. A VIP customer, known by name, greeted by name, handshake, door open, appetizers, drinks on the table, food already known and prepared to their liking. It's like personal butler service, but to the next degree, because those customers really want more for you as a result of you wanting more for them. It's social. So the more you can communicate the things that you can do, the more you're going to get from that customer in the long run. They want you to succeed. They want you to write that book. They want you to have more energy for your daughter. But they don't know how to communicate or get past that customer server relationship, nor should they know how. And it's best that they don't know how, and it's best that your competitor restaurants don't know how either. So you are taking the first step in learning how to bridge that gap. And one of the ways is by casually mentioning, have we done all the tweeting, tagging, Facebooking, whatever you have to do so that we can focus on your experience here, your dinner here, your event, your occasion. Say it the way that you want to say it, but you're getting out there. Start thinking social. Start talking about this restaurant, my station. So they've already done that. You're back with water, drinks, or whatever. And the first thing that they ask for, you should say, absolutely. It would be my pleasure. You could have anything. You're in LeeAnne's station. Anything that you need to say to get your name in it. Okay, so you've got 5 business cards all throughout the neighborhood on your way in. You've got customers that you've just reminded to check in and use social. They've asked you for a drink. Now you want to make sure, how do I get my name into their social experience? That's the goal now. So when they say, and I say, can I get you something to drink? Yes, I'll have a blah, blah, blah. Would you like your blah, blah, blah over ice? Just kidding. You want to upsell. Would you like blah, blah, blah or extra, extra blah, 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 blah? So you've got the order from vodka tonic to now Kettle One and tonic. And when they finish ordering and the last person says, and can I have? Absolutely! You can have anything you want in LeeAnne's station. Okay? You've got the name in once. Maybe you've introduced yourself already, so that's twice then. Now you're coming back. Anything that they've forgotten to give you in terms of information, again, you want to say, you're in LeeAnne's station. Sit back and relax. You can have it all. Whatever you need to say to make sure that your name is in it, that's what you want to do. Because the more you say your name and the more they say your name, the more apt that you're in a position to actually get their name. That's a whole different video. That's a lot more personal, and that's way up here. But it starts with the little things. And like I said in the first video, it's not effortless. You're not going to watch this video and suddenly money's going to fall into your lap. You're going to have to do some work. You're going to have to say, thank you, instead of no problem, or you're welcome. Or actually, you're not even supposed to say you're no problem in the restaurant business ever. If no one's told you that, don't ever say no problem in the restaurant business. Don't point. Always use an open hand, and never say no problem, because the word problem should not even be within the 4 walls of your restaurant. So try to remember that customers are not customers; they're guests. Don't point, and absolutely instead of no problem, and you will probably be good to go. But get your name into all of your scenarios that anyone asks you a question, you start thinking, absolutely. It's my pleasure because you're in LeeAnne's station. And when you finally get the item, when the customer gets the item and says thank you, you want to say thank you. Thank you! So, you've got your business cards all throughout the neighborhood. You've done this for a couple of days, so now it's probably close to 15, 20, 30 business cards around the neighborhood. Now it's time to start going back to the same spots and reminding your business owners or their employees about you. And the way that you do that is by saying, oh, I forgot to ask your name. Now, provided that you bought your composition book, these are going to be the first names that go into your composition book. And certainly not while you're talking to the person that sold you the newspaper or the cup of coffee, but as soon as you get finished getting their name, you want to put that name in the book and put down where they work, what you got, when you bought the coffee from them, because that'll help jog your memory. And you want to start using their name all the time. Every time you stop in, you want to say, hey Karen, hey, thanks, whatever. Keep it light, keep it casual, but make sure you remember their name, because it obligates them to remember yours. What was your name again? I'm LeeAnne. I'm sorry, did I give you my card? I don't know if I did. Let me give it to you. Let me give you one. And then do the whole thing all over again so that they know that you're just down the street. The best time to come in is between 4 and 5. That you have the best steak in all the land. And that if they send customers in mentioning Karen's name, that you are going to super VIP them and give them the royal treatment. Maybe even get the chef to come out and meet them. Paint an experience for them so that they're like, wow, how could I send somebody to ABC down the street when I could send them to LeeAnne, and very cool things might show up and happen, and then my customer might come back and really thank me and say, wow, I took your suggestion and LeeAnne really hooked me up. Thank you so much, Karen. Here's $20. She doesn't know. You don't know what people are doing nowadays and how social they can be or how much a great steak could possibly mean to somebody. But Karen doesn't know anybody in any other restaurant, and she has your name. Let's make sure you use hers so that she has to use and remember yours. So, you've got 20 business cards. You're going back on your way to work to revisit and make sure that you get Karen's name. And it goes into your composition book. Where is my composition book? Here's my composition book. One of many. It's horrific. It's basically, I have the date at the top, and then I write down what I have written down is the person's first name and the table number that they happen to have been sitting at. And then I write little things about the experience, whether it was what they were wearing. I always write the weather at the top for that day. Special date on the calendar helps me jog my memory so that when they come back in, I already know who they are, what they ordered, that kind of thing. So when I meet Karen and I finally get her name, I make sure that that name goes into my composition book as one of my first names in my composition book, because I'm going to use this tool for the rest of my life. Okay, so we are at our table. We've gotten 20 business cards out and around, and we're now revisiting some of the stores on our way to work, aren't we? Yes, we are. And we're getting those business owners and their employees their names, and we're writing them in our book so that we can mention their name and actually send our customers to the small businesses around us in case our customers need whatever it is. It could be anything, but not knowing people puts you at a severe disadvantage. Knowing what's going on and what's going on around you makes you very social. And what you want to be is the social hub, connecting people, connecting information, connecting experiences. You are going to be the master of ceremonies, and that little bit of work that you're going to put in, that little bit of effort, that saying thank you instead of thanks when you get your change, is going to change your life. Okay, so I'm trying to stay on track, but I have so many exciting things to tell you. So your customers got their drinks, and the last person said thank you, and you said thank you, and you've gotten your name into the conversation at least twice, And so they know who to call on, and they know that every time they ask you for anything, you say, "You're in LeeAnne Station. Hello, you can get anything." And they laugh. "Ha ha ha, anything?" Ha ha ha. No. But they get the gist. And then basically you want to control the situation, create experiences that they didn't know that they could have. So for instance, you have somebody going through the menu, you've taken the order from everybody else, and one person is really stuck. Do I want this or do I want that? I don't know if the chef can do it right now, because he will never do it when it's really busy and every single employee is over the top with orders anyway. But do you want me to check and see it? He usually only does this between 4 and 5, but do you want me to check and see if he can do a little bit of both? Oh my gosh, would you check? And of course, you're in LeeAnne Station. I'll check. I can't guarantee anything. I can guarantee it around 5 o'clock though. Or if you call me ahead. So just so you know, I'll go check. Information. And maybe information overload. You have to take the temperature of every single table that you have. I mean, what I'm explaining is just gateways to open up more and more conversations that end up here, because the foundation that you're making right now in the next week or so is going to make your life so much easier that you're not even gonna believe that this is the same job. This is a job that 2 weeks ago you weren't even sure you were going to keep, or not even sure you were going to stay in the industry, and now you're realizing that this job affords you everything that you ever wanted. You're talking to neighborhood businesses. You go into the business now and you've been for your muffin in the morning, and people are waving to you and saying, "LeeAnne, I've got your stuff up here." Huh? Trust me, people love engagement. People love to be social. But if you keep your boundaries, there's no way for that to actually happen. So all you're doing is opening up doors with information and helping that to happen. So now you've gone to the kitchen, you've checked with the chef, or maybe you haven't gone to the kitchen, maybe you just walked away. Because you want the customer to simmer on the fact that it could have been done, just can't be done now. We're too busy. Look, everything else would suffer. Every other customer would suffer. Service would suffer. Whatever you have to say. People understand that their one experience can't butterfly affect everyone else's in a negative way. And so, but you have given them information that they had no idea. They hadn't even thought this through. They hadn't even thought to ask. And now you've got them thinking about social, thinking about posting, and thinking about coming back and having both entrees at the same time. Okay? So you've got a lot of information on the table. Oh, and they've got your name, right? Twice, maybe even 3 times. So you've got a lot of information already out there. What you would have done is bottled or flat, upsold your vodka, and gotten the order in. That person, or those 4 people, would be leaving, and you would never know anything more about them, besides one takes a lot longer to order. So now you've kind of built this foundation for an actual relationship. You don't know it because no one's trained you to do relationship building. They've trained you to upsell. They've trained you about the products that they have. They've trained you about the restaurant, its procedures, its culture. But really, has anyone trained you how to build relationships? Now, don't tell me that this isn't going to overflow into other parts of your life. It will. Okay? The small investment that you've just made is going to come around and kiss you on the cheek 30 million times. Trust me. Trust me, trust me. I keep saying that, but you don't know me from Adam. I am Adam. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so you've got all of this information. They now know that if they come in early, they can have both entrees. So now You've come back to the table. I'm sorry, the chef can't. Sorry. That's okay. We've decided we're going to have the chicken, or she's going to have the chicken. So, boom, that's done. Oh my gosh, when they get their entrees, you have to remember to say, oh, when was the last time you guys all got together? Do you want a picture of this? Okay, maybe not during the food, because you want the food to be hot. But at some point, maybe even when your drinks go down and somebody picks up their camera. Wait, do I have one? Picks up their phone camera. For old school people who are saying, what do you mean camera? That's a phone. Wow, have things changed in 5 years or what? Picks up their camera to take a picture of the drink. Say, oh my gosh, do you want me to take a picture of all of you, all 4 of you together? When was the last time you got together? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. I mean, 9 times out of 10, if it's a work-related thing, no, not so much. You know how you feel about work and, you know. Okay, no more needs to be said. But if 9 times out of 10, if people are dressed up, they are out celebrating something. So a birthday, anniversary, Valentine's Day. Use your holidays. Use your holidays, because you know that everyone who's dining out on Valentine's Day, don't be victimized by Valentine's Day. Oh, I have to work. Take advantage of Valentine's Day. Oh, I can take a picture of every single person that comes in, and I can make them put my name on it. Make them mention me. Okay, it's different from birthdays and suggesting that you mention me. But if everybody's out like, oh, this is my date, you know, I hope she goes out with me again, and you have so much more of an upper hand than a bunch of people getting together for a birthday and hoping that they get your name onto that picture or tag or put it on the Facebook page of the restaurant. But I'll give you a tip on how to do that so that they definitely post it on the Facebook page for the restaurant and they mention your name. So you may not want people mentioning your name on your regular Facebook page, so this is the perfect opportunity, because it's now going to be on the restaurant Facebook page, and because you're not friends with your customer, when they tag you, it's just your name, so that but when they share that picture with everyone in their network, now everyone in their network is going to be coming in asking for you. So pool house or not, again, you're just having a name. People love mentioning names. People love knowing that, you know, if they come in, that they're going to be treated just as well as their friend who posted this picture and really had an extraordinary experience, so much so that they wanted to post about it. So you have social media at your fingertips. Use these opportunities to create conversations and information so that they start sharing and posting on social media, posting about you, posting about your ability, because the more your customers are sharing and people are coming in because of them, these are now referral customers. They don't know how well you know this other person. They could be, you could end up talking to your customers later on and saying, what a horrible person that person was. So they're going to be the nicer customer. Referral customers are always nicer. They tip higher, they're more patient, and they're nicer. So the more you get that conversation open and get people posting and getting their friends coming in, the better off you are. The more energy you have and the better money you make. Sorry, it's not waiting for people to come in, these strangers that come in. Now people are coming in saying, oh, I'm a friend of Mary's, I'm a friend of Karen's down the street. These are the customers you want because they don't know the relationship you have with the customer you had. Or Karen, the business owner, or the employee down the street, or the mechanic. They don't know. But they go to that same mechanic. They go to that store. Nobody wants to burn bridges or change the dynamic of a relationship. So they're going to treat you really, really, really well. Build your referral customer base, and you are going to be in such great shape. You're going to be the mom of the year when you get home, and you have all of this energy and all this possibility just by building those referrals. And all you're doing is taking advantage of social media, taking advantage of your restaurant's business cards, taking advantage of a book like this to remember names, so that when you see a customer walking towards this host stand, you can rush and look up what that customer had last time. What was it raining? What was he with his wife? How is Barbara? By the time he sits down, oh, isn't it nice? It's not raining tonight? Huh? I've been in here once, and you remember that it was raining when I did, and my coat was, it was so cold. Yeah, I remember. Should we do the regular? Should we do the doors on the rocks? Oh my gosh! You now have a friend for life. That person is coming back. He's only going to sit with you. That's the kind of customer you want to get in here and start talking, start using information. You got the information anyway. He came, he drank, he ate. It's in here. So why not use it to make sure he comes back over and over and over and over again? It's not very hard to make $47 extra a day. Do you know that? Can you imagine making $47 extra a day? Can you imagine going to each and every business around your restaurant, or on the way to your restaurant, or talking to your kids and telling their teachers, or telling them to tell their teachers to send people into your restaurant asking for you? Do you know that $47 a day is $230 a week? And that $230 a week is actually $12,000 a year? $12,000 a year using information that you experienced anyway, but using it in a different way. So he came, say Mr. Rogers came, Mr. Rogers, where do I remember that name from? He came, he had a steak, he had a scotch, he left. His wife joined him. Her name was Barbara. You saw it on Open Table. It was raining, you checked his coat. You already made money on that because you were waiting at the door, and opened the door for him and took his coat and started making money as a coat check before he even sat down. That was the last time. And now you're using all of that experience to your advantage to make more money. When that customer becomes a regular customer, and you can create 3 regular customers for yourself every single day, do you know how much money that is? Can you have, if your goal is to sell a steak at a table or 4 steaks at a table, that's not the big picture. If they walk out and never come back again, were you planning on only working one night as a waiter? Because then that would all make sense to me. But when people focus on upselling a vodka or upselling an entree, but they don't know if that customer is coming back, to me that's insanity. You should be doing everything possible to open up the doors, to open up conversations, to learn about them, to get them to learn about you, to start posting, start talking, start referring into your station so that you know when they're coming back. And you can ask them point blank when they're leaving, when am I going to see you again? Can you ask a complete stranger, when am I going to see you again? No! But what makes a complete stranger is not knowing you, not knowing your name, not feeling like you can call them by name, not wanting to go any further than this relationship, this separate relationship. And you have all the cards. You're holding all the cards. You are controlling their entire dining experience, and you're letting people walk out as complete strangers. And yet you want more money. You want more energy. You want more time with your daughter, more study time for your MBA, and yet you're letting people walk out as total strangers. Sometimes 50 times a night. Does that make sense to anybody? It doesn't even make sense to your customers, your guests. And the only way that you can change that is by changing the way that you're experiencing your guests. Opening the door for them is a brilliant way to get their name. Getting a referral from Karen is a brilliant way, because now you can ask them their name. Hi, oh, are you LeeAnne? Karen sent me. Oh, hi, what's your name? So natural. And now you get to use their name for the rest of the occasion. You can take orders from that person from across the room after a while. I mean, think about it. When you're walking by and Karen sent in John, and he ordered for the first time a scotch and a steak. And you're walking by, hand on the back of his, on his shoulder as you're walking by. Isn't that delicious, John? Is John eating anywhere else? Nobody knows him anywhere else. Now all the customers around him want to know who John is. John is the closest thing to a celebrity in his own small world in this restaurant right now. Do you really think he's going anywhere else? You have been trained to sell and upsell food, and you've been trained operational experience or operational training procedures and the culture of the restaurant. You've never been trained to create relationships, mutually beneficial relationships. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. The next video will have much, much more. Should I do another video, or are you still listening to this one? I don't know. Okay, so you're at the table for 4. You've got John over here. You walked by him a couple of times saying, "Oh, John, your steak will be right out. Oh, John, I'm sorry. There's, we're so popular right now, but I think he's actually going out to grow your lettuce for your salad. John, you're gonna love it." Just keep him in the loop, and John, it's gonna be it's gonna be so beautiful. You're gonna need to take a picture of it and post it on our Facebook page. All these ideas, oh my gosh, and all the other customers are hearing all these ideas, and all you're doing is disseminating all these ideas. All you're doing is being social. You're taking your food, your chairs, your coworkers, and you're using them to create an experience that only benefits you while it benefits everybody else. Use your new best friend, social. Whether it's social media, social handing out business cards, social thank you, whether it's social, absolutely. You can have anything you want in LeeAnne's station. Everything that you're doing is social. And if you think that you're going to keep this in the restaurant and not use it outside, you're bananas. You're going to start seeing your life completely change because of social. So start using all of your tools and succeed. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The next video I will have much, much more, but then I'll have it also segmented so it won't be all stuff to think about. I hope you're taking notes. I'm going to have a test, especially if you're going to plan on being an HTBT trainer for your restaurant. You're going to have to pay attention to everything that was said And you're going to actually have to answer a bunch of questions and prove that you can inspire people. And this isn't even anything yet. I haven't even started to inspire you. You're going to love your boss and love your chef and love the chair that's sitting in station B. Okay, I don't know. Love your hostess. Love the guests that come in. Love the business owners around you. You're going to be looking for problems. You're going to be looking for holidays to work. You're going to be looking for inclement weather to assist customers, help them get out of their cabs. Can you imagine getting to a restaurant and having the waiter come out and help you get out of your cab? But you're going to want to do that, because every single thing that you do prior to your customer, your guest, getting to the table puts you in the driver's seat, puts you in the position of being more of master of ceremonies, puts you in a position of getting your name remembered and actually elevating yourself to the position of confidant and co-host, not a server. When you wait for the customer to get to the table and then you're saying, "Good evening, my name is LeeAnne, would you like water, sparkling or flat?" 9 times out of 10, your customer has had that experience probably 30,000 times in his life, and this one's not all that memorable. How are you going to make sure that he remembers your name? Much less refers people to you, much less refers your restaurant, much less remembers that he's coming back. How can you make sure that you have income coming in tomorrow for your daughter, for your MBA, if you don't know if your customer's coming back? Why don't you know this? This is crazy. You have to know this. And if you think in this mindset, you will absolutely start making your life so much better, so much easier. Your daughter is going to have so much more of you when you get home. So start thinking in terms of being a co-host, being social, being a confidant, and stop thinking that they have any kind of upper hand until they get to the table, and then they kind of do. But there's a couple of ways that you can take advantage of the situation once they're at the table, even though they're already there. I like to tell people to get involved right from the get-go, from the front door where you're introducing them to the hostess and actually picking up their name there. Sorry, did you have a reservation? This is Ashley. Ashley, this is? No, I'm sorry, I didn't have a reservation. Oh, no problem. Your name? Okay, so see how easily it flows, and practice with your colleagues, with your friends, however you have to do it. Make sure that you succeed and you win for every shift that you show up. Make sure that you're making as much money as you possibly can from the second that you're ready to make it. Doesn't that? And make sure that they're coming back. That part of making your life so much easier is making sure that you know when customers are coming back. You can basically put together an appointment book. You know, it's a great place to be. Your station is a great place to be. Your restaurant is an amazing place to be. So start taking advantage of it and click the link below for the next video. Or better yet, become an HTBT, Hospitality Tips for Better Tips trainer in your restaurant, and make your owner or manager pay you to train the staff.